Custom graphics. This is the salt and pepper of a website. By custom graphics, I'm talking about the use of color, patterns, typography, and imagery, all combined to transmit a message. Let's look at some examples. As you can see, this has some blocks, some people might call banners. These combine color, nice typography, custom artwork, and a button in order to obtain an action from the user. This far surpasses the alternative of a simple block of text plus a title. With these custom graphics, the website gains character and personality, and that translates into a happier user. This is what clients want, a designer who is able to tailor-make graphics specifically for their needs. Of course, these take up considerably more time, and in the case of revision work, you'll have even more to do, but the end result is well worth it. This is what clients mean when they say they want a modern website, or they want the site to pop. They don't know the right terminology, but in essence, they want custom graphics. Let's take a look at another example. This is highly recommended by clients as a go-to site for inspiration. Why is it so loved by our clients? Yes, you guessed it, it's the custom graphics. These crisp, well-defined images are stealing the hearts of both users and clients from all over the world, because most sites simply make do with plain text and headlines. Those may be the bread of the site, the actual content, but these graphics are the cheese, that little extra that when added takes everything to a whole nother level. Imagine Mint.com without these images, or see it with stock photos of business people shaking hands. How do you feel about the website now? See, the problem is stock photos are really overused. The same old images show up everywhere, and it's become a tacky, cheesy thing to have on your website. Most clients with lots of web experience will say they don't want stock images whatsoever. There are actually articles out there about the most hated stock photos at the moment. Do yourself a favor and read up. Those who have a bit of experience in web design will immediately recognize them. By the way, I have to mention I seriously dislike slideshow articles. One of the worst things ever created. Browsing through these, I'm sure some of them look familiar. That's a bad sign from the get-go. So the solution is to create these custom graphics. But how do you do that? Well, it's not easy. For starters, you have to analyze sites like Mint.com to see their structure, how they lay things out. After you have a clear idea about what's needed, you then need to start working. Nothing will help you except practice and then the step-by-step approach. This is why my site, thislooksgreat.net, has all sorts of freebies, from clocks, headers, backgrounds, to pencils, robots, illustrations, and so on. It's my place to practice and show off my work. Some are better than others, of course, so your best bet is to start early and improve as you go along. There's no real guideline except to take it step by step. Deconstruct your end result into small, manageable pieces and always use inspiration. Things like the Mint Slocker are particularly difficult to do, but with the new flat trend that's going around, you can do something like Market did. These three graphics are quite easy to do when you break them down, and by using pure flat colors, you don't have to worry about making them feel realistic. Alternatively, stock photo websites offer some of these illustrations, but they look horrible with watermarks on them. It's a very different story from watermarked images, so I recommend you stay away from them. Your last option is to use freebies off the internet, but this isn't an optimal solution. Matching multiple freebies among themselves and to your design is a real issue. Actually, if you need more than one graphic, it's very likely you won't find all of them in the same style. Consider how much time is needed to find freebies that match your design, that match between themselves, in the right perspective, with an adequate color scheme, with the right license. Well, you're actually better off designing them yourself. It's a similar process to finding free, high-quality images on one of those free gallery sites I previously mentioned. It takes a lot of time initially, and with time you can get better at it. The main difference here is that this isn't a long-term solution. Scavenging for freebies isn't something worth putting on your resume. I can't stress it enough how important it is that you develop your skills in this area. Custom graphics will set you apart from your competition by miles and miles. I believe this is the future of web design, and this is how you can make a big jump from earning a few hundred, maybe a few $1,000s per month, to earning over $10,000 regularly. Yes, over $10,000 per month. It's this type of skill that's very looked for, so your quote should increase alongside your quality. Sadly, there's no replacement for hard work. There's no easy way to go about it. You just have to practice your hands off. This is quite tricky because you're now entering a world of drawing and illustrations that's a bit away from web design. Thus the challenge. You need to achieve a balance in your work where you do your job, whatever that may be, and then on the side, you develop your new skill set. It's a big step that will likely take you quite a bit of time, yet if you're serious about web design, I believe this is your best shot. I'd even sacrifice learning how to code in order to get better at this. Hell, I've actually done that. I still have a very long road ahead of me, mainly because I've been multitasking between my business, my design work, and my efforts to improve my skill. But with constant work comes constant growth, so I'm very happy about it. So that's my take on custom graphics. They're really needed in modern web design, and your best bet is to start practicing as early as possible with the step-by-step approach. When you get good enough, you'll implement them in your designs and your clients will really appreciate them. That translates into higher asking prices, which means better business for you in the end. We need to practice, and quite a lot. So let's do another exercise. Let's replicate an icon we previously saw on marked.co.za.